Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my refresher of Seeking a Sister Wife. This is episode 5, season 3. Let's try that again. Welcome to my refresher of Seeking Sister Wife. This is season 3, episode 5. I don't know the title, but I'm just refreshing you guys on it so that when you watch it tonight, you'll be all remembered and caught up in your brainsicles. All right. So if you guys want details on this wig, it is down below. It is from Amazon. It's very cheap. I love it. I probably will buy another one because I've been combing the heck out of this one. And, you should always have 2 on deck. I said, like I know about wigs and that it's like, this is when you find a cheap wig that works, just buy 2 of them. No, I don't know how much this one cost. Okay, so I'm going to let a few more people trickle in the room. We've got 22 people in here. Hello, Baba Baby Binky Blanket. This is her name. I didn't just make that up. Hi, Sarah E. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Paige B. Lynn J. Welcome back. Welcome back, Barbara. Thank you, Barbara. Barbara says I look so pretty. Thanks, Babs. I mean, Barbara, I don't know if you want to be called Babs or not, personal choice. This eye is still watering, in case anybody was wondering. What's also really great about banged wigs is that if you're having like terrible brows, you can just hide them. It's been such a relief to have this wig. All right, so let's see the notes. Actually, I've got notes, so it won't be like Married at First Sight where I didn't have notes. Hi, Francisca. Thank you. Hi, Betsy. Welcome to the room. Okay, so as normal, we're going to get started 5 minutes in to give more people the opportunity to come into the room. This week, we talked to Danielle Garrick, the Snowdens, the Joneses, and the Clarkses. So I've got their pictures all queued up, ready to go. This was a good episode. I mean, this is a good show. This is a good show. This is still in those wee hours where they don't have like a bunch of crazy people. Like 90 Day Fiance is starting to, I don't know, unless they give me a Before the 90 Days with a brand new cast, The Other Way with a brand new cast, and a regular 90 Day Fiance with a brand new cast. Like, I'm just not as interested in these happily ever afters. Because it feels like what we got was a Before the 90 Days with Mike and Natalie, a 90 Day Fiance with Mike and Natalie, and now we're getting a Happily Ever After with Mike and Natalie. And at this point, just like, I'm not interested. I'm not into it. So I want to know how you guys feel. Baba Baby Binky Blanket has some strong feelings about Garrett. Now, Garrick, I'm going to be the person that thinks a little different about Garrick. Like, Danielle is a whole person who's able to make, a whole person that is able to make their own decisions. So I need you to make decisions that are good for you. Beth Pearson says, what's your thought on wigs on white people? I don't have any thoughts. What do you mean? I love the one she's wearing now. I feel like, Dolly Parton wears a wig. What's her, like, I feel like wig wearing for white women is kind of what I think of like most of old Hollywood doing, right? I don't think, you mean the casual everyday wig wearing the way that Black women do? Like, yeah, do what you got to do. Because I feel like women wore wigs a lot prior to the 80s, right? I feel like women wore wigs in the 70s, like when you would go out to hang out with your friends. I feel like it was like normal to wear wigs as just kind of a thing. Like I feel like women in the 60s did too. And then you have Moira from Keeping the Schitt's Creek. Keeping Up with the Schitt's Creek. Oh my God, that could be. What if there was like not a spinoff, but a spinoff of that show, but in the future, like in the past when the Roses were rich and it was a reality show? Oh my God, that would have been great. 5 minutes in. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to this recap of Seeking Sister Wife. This is season 3, episode 5. Don't know the title, but those of you who are just joining us, we are going to jump into this episode. I think normalize wigs for everyone personally. Anyone can wear a wig. It's a thing. Like women wear wigs. So anyways, there's that. Okay. Let's see. Let's take this off the screen. And then ooh, look what Barbara says. Barbara says lots of women wore wigs in the 60s. I'm 66. See? So I feel like it changed culturally for like white women at the 70s and the 80s for you guys. And I feel like it picked up steam in the 90s for black women to just like wear wigs a different color all the time, especially with like hip hop being big and like, you know, wigs weren't like killing the game. Now though, girl, wigs are killing the game. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot out there. And if you don't know how to style them, you're like me and you're just doing the best you can on a daily basis. Okay, let's jump into the first couple that we're going to talk about. Let's just talk about the Joneses to get them out of the way. So we have got a Captain Sidian Crow who is captaining his pirate ship with his first mate Tasha, who was the second mate, but then the first mate left the ship along with its crew, and then the second mate Tasha became the first mate. So they've had a hard time finding people during the pandemic. Okay, pandemic hit and it ruined their like finding of a sister wife. They had a date with Faith, who was the server at the restaurant. It didn't work out. Faith was like, I only said yes because we were on TV. So now that we're not on TV, I'm just going to go on ahead and walk away from this because this is not me. Then they met a wonderful woman named Elena, and Elena was great because Elena was familiar with the polygamous lifestyle. She'd already been in a polygamous relationship. So they were dating Elena. They went out on a date, all three of them, and Tasha was asked to leave so that Sidian could kiss Elena. They had their kiss. Pandemic hit. Elena completely like ghosted them, and then they ended up getting together a few months later to discuss it, and Elena was like, yeah, I'm just not into this. You know, basically that kiss was like, not for me. I don't want it. I don't want either of you. I don't want this. No, I don't want it. So Elena backed out of that, and Sidian says that of course like rejection hurts. However, he still has his bottom bitch. He still has Tasha. So Tasha is still there. Tasha's still there, and she feels for Sidian, but you know, now they've decided that they're just gonna do what they should have done in the beginning, which is get on a dating app, girl. Like just get on a dating app and find somebody so that they can you know, be happy. And so that's really the update about them. They have a garden. One of the kids wasn't there this time. It was just two kids, and they were gardening. And then I have a flashback. Like what happens is that I watch Mortal Kombat. In the beginning of Mortal Kombat, there was a woman in the garden. And so now I'm thinking like woman in the garden, Mortal Kombat. And like, then a fight happens afterwards. No, that's not what happens. So they're planting their own seeds and stuff with, you know, having time with their kids and the family. And they're just going back to the drawing board, and they're going to look for a wife. Look for a next person because they're ready to add that person to their family. Sorry, putting on lotion. Okay, so that's basically it. Does anybody remember anything that happened to them? Pilar, it says my voice keeps changing. Not sure. I'm sorry, Pilar. Pilar's watching on Facebook, so I don't know why my voice keeps changing. Apologize. I'm using my fancy mic. Okay, so no one has anything to update. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on to Dimitri and Ashley and Taylor and Crystalline. So we're moving on to them because they had a pretty interesting session or segment. So they're painting with Taylor and the kids. They go to this I don't know, artist's place where, I don't know, girl, you paint stuff. And apparently they go there like once a week. It's something that they always do. And again, it begs the question, what do they do for work? But anyways, so Kids are just moving about the cabin, okay? Moving, touching things, pulling stuff. And the people who are working there are having to watch the children while they're on camera talking about whether or not Taylor would be a good fit for this family, whether or not Taylor is ready for this. And Dimitri is painting a spaceship. Who knows what Ashley's painting? And Taylor is like, this is all the time. You promise? Oh my God, I love this so much. Everything is so amazing. You guys are so great. And the chemistry is amazing. And like, she says that she's sitting across from Dimitri and she feels fire, girl. And I'm just like, again, what is it that she is saying? What is it that she feels and is saying about Dimitri that I don't feel and see and say? Because, girl. So yeah, she's like, I'm ready for Insta Family. I love this. The energy is great. I was really worried about it, but now it is amazing. And I love you both. And she says something that's like, she feels selfish when she keeps Amanda herself. Like, she doesn't understand why everyone doesn't want to share partners. Or at least like bring someone else who might not have a partner, which was so interesting. I think this happened last episode, but it still stuck with me. Okay. She says that she always felt guilty when she had a boyfriend, or she always wanted somebody else's boyfriend when they had one. Like, she always wanted to join a grouping as opposed to just like having one-on-one to herself. And that if there's a woman floating out there, childless, loveless, and y'all have the space to just bring that woman into that community. And that like worked for me because I was just like, I like that idea. And it worked with Ashley too. Sorry. Itchy. Okay. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, you guys. Don't forget to share on any social media platform that you deem fit. Tell your friends about me and tell them I do this recap. Okay. So Quasi, Mickey, but I call it divorce. I called it divorce. Hilarious. So the next segment is them throwing axes, and I want to go axe throwing so bad. I tried to go in Salt Lake, but the place I wanted to go to was closed. So they're throwing axes to have some bonding sister time, and Ashley breaks down the alkaline diet that they're on, and they can't swap spit. So something about an alkaline diet, girl. I was like, what are you talking about? So basically, she just tells Taylor that Taylor and Dimitri are not to engage any sexual activity. The only thing they can do is kiss. That is it. And that it's because they're on some kind of alkaline diet for 21 days, which I don't know what they're talking about. So they start to talk about hardships of the marriage and whatnot. This is actually where they're still doing painting, but let's just pretend that we're axe throwing and talking about it. And so Taylor kept being like, why do you call it hardships? Like, it's not hardships. And they're just both looking at each other like Dimitri and Ashley are just like, what? Of course it's hardships. It's a marriage. Like, we go through hardships. We go through times where things are difficult and arguments are had, and we have to like trust that we're going to move forward and we're going to come out together on the other side. It's commitment. And this is what I think they're worried about Vanessa, their ex who left their marriage. Like, she did not believe in the forever. She was like, oh no, this is not working. I'm out. And they're really, I think, scarred by that, which they have every right to be. And so she says that that's what I just said. Streets with no love, no family to bring him in. Great. So Ashley can't get that axe to lodge in that wood to save her life until the very end. Then she talks about sharing Dimitri and what that's going to look like. And Taylor says that her and Crystalline have already got together and decided what the schedule is going to be. And Ashley's like, well, can you tell me what the schedule is going to be then? Because, I am the main wife. You guys are here at my behest. You guys are here at my patience. You guys are here at my... There's a phrase that a king would say. So patience? No, I never said that. Anyways, so they basically say that since Crystalline doesn't want to cook, she will do laundry and will have sex with Dimitri before dinner, Ashley will have sex with Dimitri after dinner, and Taylor will have sex with Dimitri in the morning. Behest. Behest? Bequest. Behest? Is it bequest or is it behest? I think it's behest. Bequest. I'll just say that then. Thanks, Mickey. Okay, so that is their conversation and they're having a good time. And she cannot wait to have her one-on-one with Dimitri. It really does feel like Dimitri's like a side note in this entire situation. It's like they need to go through Ashley first, which makes sense, right? Because Ashley is sharing with them. But at the same time, it's like, are they more interested in this relationship for the familial part of it and the sisterhood part of it and the children part of it? And then Dimitri's just kind of like there to provide some kind of masculine energy that they only need sometimes when they're feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just feels like it feels like what it is a sisterhood of women who have a few men, who keep a few men around just to satisfy their needs and do man stuff. That, and which I agree with. Hell, if there was a colony of women and everyone had kids, everybody was living their own life, but you just had, like, you guys shared a man. I mean, I keep saying I couldn't do polygamy, but if the women were really the ones who just shared the man because there were just little qualified. Okay, okay. There's a world when you're above 30, 35 and older, and there aren't any available men because either they're all married or dead or out of the closet. So they're not available to you. Like, let's say that this was a thing, right? And it's just like, there's this colony that if you were a woman over 35 and independent and wanted to have kids, wanted a man around, but you were a little too independent to have him there all the day in your face asking you a bunch of questions. If there was a colony, got lipstick on this, where you can go to, and the men were virile, they were strong, and or whatever it is that you're into, like just different types of men, you know, there were some alphas, there's some betas, you know what I'm saying? There's some deltas. And you get there and you're like, hey, I would like to bond myself to Simon. Simon is smart. He has a degree. He's tall. He's strong. He doesn't have any genetic defects that are like crazy. So I'm going to choose Simon as my partner. He's not going to be with me all the time because he has other partners he needs to tend to, but he will be here to fix the plumbing. He will be here to cuddle at night and to binge watch a show with, and we can have sex. Would you not go to that colony? Okay, nobody's with me. You guys are having your own conversation in the comment section. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. So anyways, that looks like that's the world. And I think that I could join that world. It's just sisterhood. Like, it's not sister wives, it's sisterhood. But we just all raise our kids together. Okay, I'm going to crunch this ice. Okay, I'm back. So let's go on to the Clarks. Okay, so we have got Kay, we've got Gerard, and we've got Vanessa. So where we left off last episode, there was a huge blow up between Kay and Gerard because Gerard is rude and he doesn't see Kayla as a person, and he doesn't value everything that she brings to this family, and he just really wants her to be home to take care of them kids and to make sure the house is nice and neat and clean because he is the king or the tribal leader of their tribe, and he feels like Kayla isn't joining and doing the things that she's supposed to do. Okay, you're caught up. So in this episode, he shows his ass just a little more. We go into their situation and we see the outside of their house, which there is a car, candy paint purple on little ass gold rims. So that's what we see. Then we get into the house and we see these two in a large bed. I mean, the bed literally is like more than a California king. It's like it must be two full sizes next to each other with no headboard. Why was that bed so big? Why was there no headboard? Then after that, he says that when they bring up the fight between Kay and him, he says, "Oh, I'm not with that ratchet stuff." And the way she was acting last night, and Vanessa's like, "I know that, the argument when you both are feeling as though no one is listening to you, then you both react in a very non-positive way." And I'm like, first of all, Gerard, did you just say you're not into ratchetness? You have a candy paint purple car on bright ass yellow gold rims in your front yard, as well as you are sleeping in a bed with no headboard, and you're not into ratchet shit? Excuse me, sir. What is it that you see that we don't see? Is Kay actually hitting the nail on the head? Do you believe that somehow you being with Vanessa has like ascended you and taken you out of some like, I don't know what? Listen, I love a candy paint too. I love a gold rim. I love a gold anything, okay? There's gold behind me here. There's gold plated the wall things, the like outlets, gold plated, okay? Listen, my lamp, gold. You know what I'm saying? Gold. I love gold. Okay. So I'm not talking about that. But what I'm saying is, I acknowledge to a certain extent that when we're putting up things to be at least American standard of what classy is, it's not necessarily all this. Now, is it badass? Do I love it? Do I not give a F? Do I not? I don't care. That's just your standard. My standard is this is like magistry. Okay. All the gold is magistry personally in my mind. But I know that like the overarching idea is like it's a little gauche, you know what I'm saying? It's a little tacky, but I don't care. Neither does half the women in New Jersey. Neither does a lot of women in Africa. You know what I'm saying? So like whatever to those American standards. But you're not gonna sit up here and tell me that you're not with the ratchet ish when you are, sir. You are. So, anyways, this is what I wanted to say about that. So Vanessa tells him that he needs to talk to her, and he says, okay. And so the next day, that evening, she comes home and he's pretending to clean up dishes, girl, with these empty ass clean bowls. And she gets there and tells him that she has arrived. She calls from the parking space outside, which I was like, why are you telling him you're there? Is he going to be worried? Like, who just walked into their house? So she gets there, she gets into the kitchen, he kisses her on the forehead of like, blessings, my child, or whatever. And then he like talks to her and tells her, he's sorry. And she says, I need you to stop reminding me about the bad thing I did and just trust that I'm hearing you and I'm going to make adjustments and move forward from that. I don't need you to throw it in my face all the time, what I did. And he says, okay. And then she tells him that she's going to work because she's got to make it do what it do, baby. You know what I'm saying? She's on that grind. And she says that it's because she has to, because they're more settled than she is and they're older than her and they have savings and they have money and she has nothing. And he's like, well, I understand that, but the money you're bringing in is not going to this family, is what he basically says. I mean, he doesn't say that exactly, but I think he has a problem with the fact that the money she brings in, she's not sharing with them. And it's because she's not legally married to Narratum. If he dies, she's not getting shit. You know what I'm saying? If he dies and Vanessa's feeling petty, or their 4 kids need stuff, like there is nothing for Kayla in this. There's no guarantee that Vanessa is going to take care of her, because they have 4 children together. The only thing Kayla can do is have a kid with him. Does she really want to bond herself to him right now or ever in that way? Anyways, so she's saying that she needs her own money and that she will do her best to stay at the house and be there more. But I'm like, baby, you're not going to be able to do it with 2 jobs. Just to let you know, it's not going to work. But that right now she's going to keep that job and he's just going to have to like be okay with it for the time being. And he like pretends to drop dishes or whatever. Like he doesn't quite understand what's going on. And then so I don't know what he says to her, But it sounds like the girl wants money and wants a career, and he doesn't want her to do that, which I'm just like, I don't understand why. Because you want her to stay at home and take care of y'all's kids? You don't think her value extends itself anything further than that, beyond anything more than that? That's unfair. So I hope that things are getting a little better between them for Kayla's sake, not because I necessarily want her in this relationship, but just for Kayla's sake. I hope that she's able to balance both. And I just want the best for her. I'm 100% on her side. Okay, so let's move on to what we really came here to talk about. Is Garrick and Danielle. Okay. Garrick and Danielle. So we've got Garrick and Danielle in Cabo, and they are with their sister wife, Bert or Roberta. And where does this start off at? It starts off with the way it starts off every episode, with Danielle's jealousy and insecurity. And she says that she's having a moment seeing them plan their wedding, and that she has had an issue with the jealousy before with Garrick in the past when they first started this journey, but she worked through it. And I'm like, you did not work through it, sis. Like, I'm sorry. If you're over here crying about this, especially when you know the woman and the woman has reassured you time and time again, come on. You haven't worked through it. Also, what pisses me off is the fact that you promised Garrick that he could sleep in the bed with Roberta, that they could have their time together. Even though you're there, they could have their time together, but this entire time you're not giving them their time. You're still insisting on being around. Why did you even come on this? Why'd you come to this? Is it because this is where the wedding is? But why didn't you just come and give them a week and then come later so that at least you didn't have to see it? He is having the hardest time splitting time between you and Bert. So what should have happened is he should have come first, him and just Bert, got that all out of their system, and then that way he can attend to both of you when the time is right. No. Okay. So Garrick overhears this and he tells Bert. So Bert came over to speak with her. And it just feels like, wow, woe is me. This is hard for me, giving up my husband. Yeah, but the ship is already sold, Danielle. You have already given up your marriage for this. When you signed for that divorce, there is no turning back. And you're over here crying. Like, I don't feel sympathy for her. Everyone hates Garrick and thinks Garrick is doing this to Danielle. Danielle is allowing this to happen. She's allowing this to happen. She's choosing to stay in this marriage that has gone into a direction that she is not comfortable. It's just thinking, I guess, that God is allowing this to happen, and so it's supposed to happen. Girl, come on. Trust your instinct. So Bert has to give up her time by feeling bad. Bert is just like feeling bad for Danielle the whole time when this is Danielle's doing. So Bert goes into the room with Garrick. Garrick doesn't want to be in there. Garrick doesn't want to console Danielle. Garrick just wants Danielle to buck up Chuck and get used to it and get over it. Build that bridge and get over it, girl. I'm here with Bert. We're doing this. And so Danielle is crying and Garrick is just like holding her. And then Bert looks like she wants to cry too because she sees sister crying, all over the fact that sister is having a hard time reconciling her feelings with sharing Garrett with this amazing, beautiful Brazilian woman who he could just run off into the sunset with and leave Danielle behind. Okay, so then they have a couple's like activity where Danielle goes and then they get on a camel. They make it this like Arabi like situation where they're riding camels on, and I was just like, wow, I never in my mind, I'm like, when would I ever ride a camel? It surely wouldn't be in Mexico, but you know what I'm saying? When in Mexico, ride a camel. So they get on the camel and Danielle, her statement to the cameras is, I mean, like, has she not had therapy? Like, did she? Okay. Here's the statement. The statement is, So we get on these camels, and it's just like Garrick is Aladdin and Bert is beautiful Princess Jasmine, and I guess that makes me a boo. Ma'am, did you just refer to yourself as a boo, the monkey? Riff raff, street rat, I don't buy that. If only they'd look closer. My nephew just walked into my life. Would they see a poor boy? I'm on a live. I'm not available to play. So ignore him. Anyways, so it's just like, girl, this is not, why do we have to do like the reverse psychology thing of you saying the thing that you truly feel and the way that you like, you just referred to yourself as a boo girl. Like, get out of this. This is dangerous territory. And so, oh my God, your hands are freezing. So she thinks that he is just in this lifestyle just to leave her, right? And that is her main worry. So then their next thing is that they go and taste tequila. Can you close the door, please? No? Great. So they go to drink tequila, and the person is trying to be cool and fun with like, oh, this tequila is called Baby Maker. And Garrett says, oh no, don't give any to Danielle. No, those are all for Bert. And Danielle, who makes the same joke, says like, oh yeah, I don't need that. But when Garrett says it, she gets upset. And all of a sudden she's in her feelings and she's hurt because I guess like the fact is that Garrett, I don't know, she's the one who said she didn't want to have kids anymore. She didn't want any more kids. So I just don't, can you close the door, Sway? Yeah, you opened it. Busted in and everything. So like it's just so frustrating. It's like when Garrick says the thing that's the truth, she gets upset. But when she says the thing that's the truth, it's okay. So then they're laughing, they're kikiing, and then you can tell that all of a sudden Danielle's energy drops when they talk about the baby making, and then she asks them if they used protection, which I feel is completely out of line. Like, is there no boundaries with their relationship? Like, what does it matter if they use protection or not? You've already allowed them to have sex and they're going to get married. Like, it'd be one thing if the whole idea was that they couldn't actually have sex before marriage, which as good Christians, they shouldn't have sex before marriage, but Bert and Garrick have sex. So, I mean, I don't get it. Like, they shouldn't be, but Danielle's okay with it. So I'm like, what are the rules, Danielle? Like, what are the rules? So it's so annoying. So annoying. So she gets upset about that. And they say that they used protection. They, were like, yeah, we use protection. She ends up asking Bert, and Bert says yes, that they use protection. And then energy goes down again. And then Bert feels like she has to tell Danielle if they actually had sex in between the time that they told her that she could stay in the room with them and the time she went to go, like, I guess, get ready for bed. And then she was like, so now that makes me feel like they really don't want me here. And it makes me feel bad that they didn't tell me that. And I'm like, Danielle, you didn't think that they wanted to be alone on their first night and have sex? And if you've already agreed to the fact that they have sex, like, why do you care? I don't understand the rules. Like, why aren't you setting up boundaries for yourself? Jessica, oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. It's going directly into my savings for my IVF. Thank you, guys. So Jessica O says, my thing is that Danielle needs to tell us why. She looks miserable the whole time. So why are you putting up with this and adding God into your mess? Like, it's just so weird. It is weird. Like, and then for Bert to tell Danielle that they had sex in that quick amount of time, why does she need to say that? I don't understand what is going on. That's why I'm like, I need to know the rules because it's very confusing as to why she needed to know about that, why she's getting upset. Like, we know why she's getting upset, but then recuse yourself out of this. I don't feel sorry for you. You made the choices to come here and do these things. You made the choice to divorce your husband so that he could bring her to the US before the cameras got there. So it's not like we watched you do that. So you've already made a choice. Stick with it. Or cry on your own time, girl. Cry on your own time. Anyways, so what else happens? She gets annoyed that she's not a part of the wedding planning things. Garrick turns to Bert for certain things when it comes to do that. And then Garrick tells Bert that she needs to bring her bikini because he has a surprise for her. Bring the Brazilian bikini, which makes me believe that it's a bikini with the butt out. And I just can't wait until I look at a thonged bikini in any public setting and I don't cringe a little bit. I'm so prude. I'm like, put your butt cheeks away, ma'am. Like a little butt cheek is okay. I'm not talking about, you don't need full coverage, but like a full thong. I have a hard time with it. I'm still kind of conservative when it comes to that. I'm like, ma'am, your cheekies are out. Your butt cheekies are out. But, you know, I know girls love to be with their butt out, and that's fine. I'm just like, cheekies, you know. So, yeah. It was just an awkward beautiful sunset dinner with Danielle basically being the third wheel, or at least being a poor sport when it comes to Garrick moving, you know, forward with his relationship with Bert, and Bert doing her very best to make sister feel comfortable. But there's nothing that Bert can do besides, I guess, actually have sex with sister so that she can feel like it's real. All right, guys, we have a couple minutes. I only did 36 minutes. Tell me what you guys think. Baba Blanket says, I'm with you, Wah, on this Danielle tip. Oh, thank you so much. Selena says, I would have left him. Yeah. And she's not wrong for wanting to do so. Like, she's not wrong for wanting to do so. I understand on one hand Danielle having feelings about the wedding planning, but on the other hand, it's Bert's wedding. Let her have that. That's why I'm saying I need to understand the rules. Right? Because I understand that Danielle is going to have feelings about this situation. But what I don't understand, or what I find interesting, is that whenever Danielle has an emotion, she needs for the both of them to know she's upset. And it becomes all about Danielle. But she gave that up when she signed those papers. She really did. She gave that up when she signed those papers. And I know that it's hard for Brazilians to get to the US without, I don't know what they need to have, right? Because obviously we've had like 3 Brazilians now on 90 Day Fiance, and the way that they've gotten to the US is the K1 visa. And I'm not saying that represents all of Brazil in every situation, but like when I've had family want to come from Belize to, or Guatemala, come to the Americas, someone's either had to adopt them, they've had to like marry someone, or I think you just have to have enough holdings in your own country to show that you would come back to that country. Like they're like, maybe you have to be rich, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, what was Bert doing in Brazil that she couldn't get that tourist visa? Or what are some of the things that she didn't have? And could she get them? I don't know. You know, I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what it is to come into the US, but she can fly to Mexico freely. And so was there not an option for, I don't know, him to marry her in Mexico? I don't know. I don't know. They're getting married in Mexico because their family can just go there and be there at the wedding. That's the reason why they're doing it there. I just what, and maybe divorce was the only recourse. I'm not trying to say that there was other recourses. I don't know. But it just seems real extreme, especially for people who are new to this lifestyle. I heard somewhere, someone told me, one of you guys, that Ashley and Dimitri aren't actually married. So Beth says Bert cares about Danielle more than Garrick does. And yeah. And I don't necessarily think that that's wrong. Like, Garrick is over Danielle. Like, the moment they've been talking about divorce before Bert came into the scene. There is something going on between them that has nothing to do with Bert or his want to be a sister wife, his want to have a plural marriage. I honestly think that he wanted to divorce Danielle. Like, there's something going on. I don't know if she's had like crazy bouts of depression, but he is unhappy in a relationship with just Danielle. And so he had this epiphany. And the moment he had that epiphany and brought this to her was her opportunity to walk away legitimately. But she chose not to. And now she's in this horrible place. And Bert sees that. And Bert tries to reassure her. But the truth is that Danielle is having these fears based off what she knows about Garrick. Bert doesn't know Garrick. Danielle does. So I honestly think that Bert is just trying to make Danielle feel better because she doesn't really know what it is that Garrick and Danielle are actually fighting about. I doubt that she knows the ins and outs of what's going on between them. So you guys get what I'm saying? I think that the reason why Bert is that way with Danielle and trying to like make up for this is because she thinks that she doesn't know what it is that Garrett has put Danielle through. Or what it is that Danielle has put Garrick through. Like, I don't think, no. Because like Vanessa seems cool with Kayla. And I don't know if it was hard like that in the beginning for Vanessa and Kayla. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I can't imagine. I just can't. Like, I'm trying to think of any situation where the husband just like drops the bomb that this is what he wants to do. This eye won't stop watering. And so the makeup is just doing whatever it needs to do to get away from my face. So anyways, yeah. Yes, I did talk about Broke Down Johnny Depp. His name is now Sidian, what did I call him? Sidian Crow. Instead of Jack Sparrow, he's Sidian Crow, or Sidian Raven is what I called him. So Paige says that she feels terrible for Bert. Garrick is almost intentionally splitting Danielle. Large wife. Oh yeah, large wife. I'm just like, who said that okay with that? Danielle's also not putting up boundaries. Like when she says, we call him the small wife and the large wife. I was like, Danielle, why'd you ever even agree to that? As soon as it happened, you could have been like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, Danielle's just agreeing to stuff that don't make no sense. Like, don't make no sense. So anyways, you guys, thank you so much, Baba Blanket. That is the end of my recap on this. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to try to come back next. I'm going to try to come back this evening and talk about 90 Day Fiance. I have to take my dog to our first like doggy training class. So excited. I'm going to learn how to train her. But I got to go like spruce her up now. She's a little raggedy looking. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, you guys, I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you for joining me. I hope you will join me later on in the week for my weekly show with Chris Farrow. We talk about pop culture issues. If you would like to give us ideas or you have any suggestions or any things that you're into for this week, go ahead and email me at justcallmewa@gmail.com. Check me out on any of my other social media platforms. Just call me Wa. And any down below, if you would like to donate to my IVF fund, you can Cash App me, you can Venmo me, and you can PayPal me. But otherwise, enjoy Seeking Sister Wife tonight. It comes on at 8 p.m. on TLC. Maybe not 8 p.m. Don't know. It comes on tonight on TLC though. And you guys have a fantastic week. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Ooh, what is this, Selena? Would you ever stream on Twitch? I've never done Twitch. Should I? Oh, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to share on any social media platform. Thank you guys. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Tiana. Thank you for being in the room. All right. And thank you to those of you who joined me on Facebook. Bye.